Well, when I got to the hospital, they, after I was only there for a matter of hours, and then they put me in an ambulance with a bunch of other Germans, and they took us to Dordrecht, a town in Dordrecht, a hospital. It was a 2-story brick school, again, that they converted to a hospital, and a large room upstairs where they had prisoners of war. And this is where I had run into this chap who, he was dying. He was shot through the lungs. He was in a single bed cot, sitting upright because he couldn't lie down. His lungs were filling up, and he had a bullet through the lungs. And he was a big man, and he had a big black mustache. His jacket was sitting over his chair by his bed, and it had the MM, a very coveted decoration.
What does MM stand for?
Military Medal for Bravery. And I took out his pay book out of his breast pocket to see who he was and where he was from. He was Jewish, and he was from Montreal. His name was Hurwitz. And I put his pay book back, of course. And I never thought more than this. I sat with him all night, and I got the orderly twice to come and give him morphine because he was delirious, and he was reliving the battle the whole time, shouting commands to his driver and whatnot, and then berating himself because he couldn't carry on anymore, fighting to the very last breath. I never saw a braver man in my life. I've never forgotten him. And when I got home, I swore I was going to go to Montreal and see his folks, which I never did, which I've regretted all my life. But anyway, I was there for about 3 days.
But Hurwitz, what happened to him that night?
He died. I sat with him until he died. Closed his eyes and pulled the blanket over his head and went to bed. And
wasn't there, somebody said something about his not being Jewish?
oh, the orderly, when I got the orderly, he said, this is the first time I've ever seen a Jew in the front lines. And I wasn't going to let this fellow get away with that. Christ, I said to him, we have all kinds of Jewish in our battalions, both English and the Americans. He couldn't grasp that. They were so imbued with this Nazi doctrine that he couldn't. He was just a real born and bred Nazi.